can, but Pat Riley probably gets a cut.
Yeah. We know that he keeps receipts, and he is very, very petty. So anyways, unrelated, just something that came to my mind. Danny Kanell, Kyle Long, Douzable. We're going to break down this matchup. Each side's offense, each side's defense. Kyle gets us covered with the offense. Lige, you're going to tell us about the defense. And then, Danny, you have the ultimate task of playing, tiebreaker and who has the edge here. So let's start with the Chiefs and the offense. Kyle, Patrick Mahomes has so many intangibles. He just has that clutch gene. But what does the offense really need to do in order to win another Super Bowl?
I'm so sorry, I was muted there. Man, I'm trying to figure out how to be remote. It is imperative for the success of the Kansas City Chiefs to be able to establish the pecking order at the line of scrimmage. When you play against this Philadelphia Eagles front, a Vic Fangio coach defense, they are going to try to establish dominance and play bully ball. I think being able to run the football in situations when everybody in the stadium knows that you're going to run it, you have to be able to get at least 3 yards. What we saw last night against the Buffalo Bills was a number of moments where the Kansas City Chiefs failed to do that, and they had to lean on Patrick Mahomes, a lot of the quick game and matchups. I think you need to continue to stay on schedule in the passing game. Obviously, take what the defense gives you. Another staple of the Vic Fangio defense is bend, but do not break. So he's going to make that offense earn it with those 20-play type drives like we saw from the Washington Commanders. And to top it off, you have to just clean up the mistakes. There can't be any footballs on the ground against the Philadelphia Eagles. You cannot lose the turnover battle against Philadelphia.
Yeah, we know the margin for error in these types of games is very, very slim. Lige, let's go to the Eagles defense. What do they need to do? Who needs to shine in order for them to really have the edge with that matchup?
Yeah, Kyle kind of hit on it, right? He talked about the war in the trenches, and the Philadelphia Eagles are led by Jalen Carter, who was an all-pro at defensive tackle. To me, though, the fellas, the biggest thing the Philadelphia Eagles need to do is keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. And I know me saying keep him in the pocket like Patrick Mahomes can't beat you in the pocket. But what we've noticed from Patrick Mahomes, especially in these critical games, in these playoff games, is that he's more mobile than he usually is in the regular season. He killed the Buffalo Bills multiple times getting out on the edge. We saw it on the 4th and 1 when they gave him an RPO option on a bootleg, and he just took off for like 10 yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns yesterday. One was on a bootleg. Nothing was in the flat. He scampers into the end zone. Another one was a design run. They went into a pony set with 2 tight ends in the backfield, and then Travis Kelce ends up being his lead blocker, and he scampers in for 15 yards and gets into the end zone. He is a guy that can kill you not only with his legs running the football, but throwing the ball down the field as well. It's already hard to stop and try to slow down Patrick Mahomes from within the pocket. But if you allow him to stay in the pocket and get outside the pocket, it's going to be a long day for your defense. So I know it's something that Vic Fangio will be preaching to his defensive line, right? Pass rush lane responsibility. And Vic Fangio doesn't blitz a lot, but when he does, he's going to be telling that outside guy that's blitzing off the edge, attack the upfield shoulder. We cannot allow Patrick Mahomes to get outside the pocket.
I feel like hearing the Chiefs do this in the playoffs, not on the regular season, is just something we've been saying all season long. Danny, okay, you are picking the tiebreaker here. Who has the edge? Is it the Chiefs offense, Eagles defense?
Full disclosure, like the first instant reaction was like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes. You have to go with Kansas City's offense. But I didn't.
Ooh,
I'm actually going with one of the better defenses in the NFL. And if we remember, the last time that the Chiefs lost a Super Bowl was against the Tampa Bay Bucks, when what was Patrick Mahomes doing? Running for his life most of the time on the ground. And I do think Lige brought up one of the most impactful players that could be in this game. Jalen Carter, also Jordan Davis, those bigger interior presence that when you try to step up in the pocket as a quarterback and they're right in your lap, there's nowhere to go. I think they're going to, Vic Fangio, you guys mentioned the defensive coordinator for the Eagles. I think he's going to have a game plan. It is ever so slight. But I do think as a unit, as a whole, I give the slight edge to the Eagles defense.
All right, now let's flip it. We're going to talk about the Chiefs defense. And Lige, I mean, when I was watching the trophy presentation, I'm like, where's Chris Jones, man? Because he is an absolute game wrecker, a scary dude. Yeah, he was crying before the game was even over. I'm like, hold up. But Lige, let's talk about this Chiefs defense and what do they need to do to step up?
I mean, the obvious one, right, is mitigate this run game for Saquon Barkley, but that's easier said than done. Kyle kind of alluded to it, how this game is going to be won in the trenches. And the Philadelphia Eagles have potentially the best offensive line. Now, there will be question marks when it comes to Landon Dickerson and also Cam Jurgens. Now, hopefully 2 weeks before they play again, both of those guys will be healthy. But the run game is what dictates everything for the Philadelphia Eagles. The RPO game, right? Their play action pass game. Jalen Hurts was efficient from the pocket. But you're allowed to do that when Saquon Barkley takes the first carry on a toss play 60-plus yards and breaks about 3 tackles and goes into the end zone. So if you're this Kansas City Chiefs team who kind of struggled last week versus James Cook, there was a drive where the Buffalo Bills literally, implode or showed their will in the trenches and were able to run the ball at will on them for one drive and score a touchdown. If you're Chris Jones and you're George Karlaftis, you got to be up to the task against this physical, big offensive line from the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's all going to start with the defensive line from the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to do a really good job of mitigating this run game from Saquon Barkley.
Yes, so that brings us, of course, to the Eagles offense. And we saw Saquon in those highlights, Kyle. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And it's funny because people are saying, hey, the Giants, this is all your fault. And the Empire State Building is now lit up in Eagles colors, which is a little dramatic. But, Kyle, what about this Eagles offense do you need to see from them in order for them to win a Super Bowl? What do you need to see out of that side of the ball for Philly?
You know, Jack and DK, it really pissed me off because I was tweeting that Saquon Barkley is not from this planet. And people were like, would you give some credit to the offensive line? And I'm like, hey, idiot, do you understand who you're talking to? I understand that on the first play of the game, Saquon Barkley went 60 yards out the gate like a friggin' racehorse. But he wasn't touched for the first 12 yards. It is unheard of to have this quality of an offensive line, this experience of an offensive line coach, coupled with this talented of a running back as Saquon Barkley, a down in, down out threat, guy who can catch the football, can hit the home run. So first and foremost, lean on what makes you special. It's the line, it is the running back, and then you got the cheat code on fourth down. It's the tush push. It's the obvious runs. The same thing I was talking about with Kansas City. When everyone in the stadium and even your grandma on the couch knows, oh, they're doing the butt push. Here comes the tush push. Well, they're going to get it because they have mastered it, because Jason Kelce went and handpicked a replacement for him at center. And in my opinion, I think it's because of 2 things: his ability to block in space and his ability to get the tush push started. Couple that with Jalen Hurts' strength. It is a really, really tough hill to climb for a defense. So many ways that the Philadelphia Eagles can beat you. Oh, yeah. Jalen Hurts, he can throw the football now, to A.J. Brown, to Devontae Smith, to any number of guys. So put those questions right in the wastebasket. It's trash day. It's Monday in Florida.
Yeah, we kept saying, I don't know about the passing game for Philly. We don't know. But, I mean, they're proving us wrong. Danny, all right, the decision maker here.
Man.
Who are you giving the edge to?
So Kyle just made a really compelling case. I was like, man, should I switch it? No, I'm not going to, though. Steve Spagnuolo, we saw Chris Jones up there crying again, saying, my coordinator, how can he not have a head job already with the amount of success he's had? He's one of the best in the business. Chris Jones, one of the best in the business. And I will say, I need to see a little bit more from Jalen Hurts out of the pass game. I know he's capable, and he even did it in the last Super Bowl. But start to finish, I'm still saying it. I give the slightest edge. I think this game is going to be won by the defense that dominates more so than the other. So I'll give the slight edge to the defense of the Chiefs over the Eagles offense. A little bit too one-dimensional for me. That one dimension is pretty special in Saquon Barkley, and maybe it's from an outer dimension, as Kyle alluded to, but I still think I give the edge to the Chiefs.
Yeah, that dude's not real. So you're going with Eagles defense and the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, sounds like an underplay.
Yeah, literally. We're going to get your, that can't be plus money on that. I don't know. DK, Lige, Kyle, we certainly appreciate it. And you can hear Kyle Long and Mike Renner on Pushing the Pile. You can watch right now by scanning that QR code on your screen.